Welcome everybody. It is in the bag. And it's not Robbie, it's Silus. What's up, Silus?
I haven't been on here in a minute.
Yeah, you haven't. And surprisingly, because you're like an OG, I would consider you an OG. And in the bag doesn't happen without Silus. So you are in the bag crew.
I am in the bag crew. It's honored to be here. Honored to be here today.
Yeah. So, Hunter, Trevor, Connor, Robbie, Jason are all down at MCO dealing with that mess. Hopefully they're.
Yeah, it was like storms or something going on, right?
Looks good today. Like windy, but I think everything's good today. A lot of rain potential, so hopefully everything goes well.
Yeah.
Above all, hopefully everyone down there is safe. And if you're down in that area getting a lot of rain, be safe out there. Don't drive through a bunch of water. There's more there than you think. That's our public service announcement for today. But yeah, no, we're going to do a little, not even really a one-off episode. It's still going to be in the bag. We're still going to look at Silas's bag, his discs. Some interesting conversation, though, around Silus and his bag building and current bag. And then we'll maybe, who knows, I might make a recommendation. Who knows? We'll keep it up. So
great.
Anyway, without further ado, Silus. So for those of you who don't know you, shame on you. But I think most people know you as Sci Guy, Die Guy. Behind the scenes. So tell us what you.
Man. Yeah, that's a throwback.
On Trevor's on my collection video.
Yeah.
Trevor, I have a special section of my shelf over there. It's like just unique special discs. They're maybe not valuable, but they're special to me.
Yeah.
And in that is two of your OG dies. Wow. One you did on that Nebula, if you remember. You may not, but it's there.
I don't.
The second one I know you remember. It was remember those painters that will poke a hole in a paint can and like swing it from a rope. And
yeah,
you tried to do the other disc. I have that disc. It's over there. It's on my shelf. So
it looks so bad.
But yeah, if the people don't know, tell them what you do here, Silus.
Yeah, I am editor for the Wednesday videos for Foundation Disc Golf, editor for Robbie C's channel, podcast producer for Debate Night and Off Season, and
I would say
what else do I do?
I would call you the audio and lighting technician.
Oh,
in general.
Sure.
Pretty much anything technical Silus gets into, and he's very good at it. But you're the Swiss Army knife here. I would call you that.
Okay.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
But Silus has been playing exactly to the day as long as I have, which is always interesting to think about. I was just talking about that today.
Yeah.
We started playing the exact same way, the exact same time. Mm-hmm. Our first round was with Hunter.
Yep.
Very fun. You remember, like, it was a hole 10 at Peaksview. I threw his disc in the water.
Hole 10.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hit a tree, bounced straight in the water. And I felt so terrible. Yeah. And at the time, I didn't know Hunter was who he was.
He's got so many more.
Yeah. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'll pay you for that. I'm really bad. He's like, dude, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we've been playing the same exact time.
Yeah.
I think you kind of went through a period, maybe last year, where you're just kind of like, you're not really playing for fun anymore. Or talk us through like what went down there.
Well, here's the thing about me is I'll get into something and then just like get into it like really hard, and then I'll just like get burnt out over it. So that's kind of where I was at. You know, I was playing for a few years, and I was just like, okay, you know, like this is fun, but like I want to try something new, and so like I got into like playing pickleball and stuff like that. And so
biking, you're in biking for a
little bit?
I
was in biking for a little bit, and so you know you just go through phases. And you
bought a house, you're renovating a house.
I did. Yes.
All the things.
Big deal.
So you kind of got, it kind of just fell to the wayside a little bit.
Yeah.
Plus, it's your job. And I will admit, with disc golf being our jobs, I would still say I love it the same. It just doesn't feel as important if there's like something else on like off time to go do. Yeah. Like I still love like new people or friends that love to play. Shout out our buddy Cal. We've been playing with a bunch. Love new people and new friends, playing with them, and like that's the thing that we do, and I love teaching new people.
Yes.
But I also, we do, and you play more than me probably, or at least you're present for rounds more than me.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Which, and you're looking at it all day as well. I can kind of step away. I do more of the business stuff. Yes, I see the discs, but you're like watching all the videos over and over and over. Right. So I'm sure there's an element of that. You're like, well, maybe I'll bike instead of play disc golf.
Yeah. It's like I see disc fly a lot.
Yeah, right. But, I think now that we're doing like the putting streams and you are like playing a little bit more in videos, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you're trying to like figure out your disc golf game again.
Yeah, the spark is back.
Yeah.
The spark is back.
Yeah, so I know you're trying to get better at putting for sure, and I've seen you play really well, and some of your best forehands I've ever seen recently. So I see you coming back. That's all I can say. So
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, right. So I just wanted to, it was an opportune time to get you back on here because you've been a guest maybe twice.
Maybe twice. Definitely once.
Once for sure, because you joined from the Charleston store when we had that, and so that was the second time.
Yeah. Okay. So probably 2 times now.
Yeah.
Then.
So you're very early on, but so I'm really excited to have you back on. So let's talk. Okay. First of all, let's just talk about the normal questions we ask our other listeners, just so people can kind of know you a little bit better.
Sure.
So out in the field, we've put a basket out there. You're like, okay, I can reach it if it's this distance, both backhand and forehand. Like golf shot, you're not like trying to kill it, just your normal backhand, normal forehand. How far can you reach out to a basket, you think?
I would say, like, comfortably, like 310, 320 backhand, and maybe like 340, 350 forehand.
Yeah, I'd agree. Your forehand gets out there, especially if you get a flex.
I just feel more comfortable with throwing like the power forehand.
Yeah, right. For sure. So. You have a good forehand. Okay, so there's that. Now putting. This is one that's getting better, but we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting.
The unfortunate part about us, Silus, is we can't lie about what people see us throw and see us putt almost weekly.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
We give you 10 putters. We sit you at 15 feet,
15,
25, and 40. These are the distances I'm going to use today.
Okay.
How do you feel? 15?
Okay.
How many making it 15, 25, 40?
15. Definitely not all. Like, out of what? Out of 10?
Out of 10, yeah.
Okay. Probably 8 from 15.
Yeah.
What was it, 25? 25.
So that's back here.
Probably like 3. Maybe 2. Probably 2.
2.
I'd say 2.
2's probably good, yeah. And then 40.
40. Maybe 1. I don't, probably none.
I will go out and say, just seeing you putting here, we putt from 35. So I say you're probably just as accurate at 25 as you are at 35.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because I feel like I putt pretty hard.
Yeah, I think when you get outside the circle, I think your putt comes alive because you do putt really hard.
Yeah.
So the distance doesn't really become an issue. It's more of an aim from 25 to 45. There's not a lot of power difference.
Yeah.
And I think 45, again, that's the repetition sort of thing, distance.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that's good.
Also just depends on the day, too. I mean,
are we feeling it or are we not? I felt like this week I'll putt, 6 or 5 randomly throughout the day at the warehouse, and I might throw 20 at home. This week I felt unstoppable. I'm never missing a putt again. This morning,
that's a great place to be.
Well, this morning after I took you were over, we filmed the weekly warehouse, and I printed labels and everything and did the pictures for the discs. Just mental break, grabbed 6 putters, walked out to 25 feet. We have marked off. I didn't even hit the basket on 3 of them and missed all 6. And I was like, okay, well, I just can't putt again. So that's putting, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we know that the biggest strength of your game, a strength of your game is backhand. What do you think or forehand? I'm sorry. What do you think the biggest strength of your game is?
Yeah, probably just like a forehand, like. Not like, I don't know. I've been like hitting lines recently. So just like hitting lines on the forehand, I feel like is kind of the strength right now, at least.
Yeah. I think I would say that on your point, maybe like even just taking it out a little further is like you're not nervous to step up and have to do a forehand of any kind.
Yeah.
Which I think is really valuable because I think for me, I feel really comfortable forehand approaches, like forehands out to like 200 and 240. I'm like I'm getting within 20 feet every time.
Yeah.
I step out 250, 270. I'm like my accuracy goes down to 50% because I'm really leaning into it at that point.
Okay.
I can get a forehand out to 300, but I really have to really hit it, and I'm not going to be accurate. So I don't feel like I can throw it off of most tees.
Okay.
But I don't feel like that's, at least around here.
Yeah, I feel like that's the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Because like my backhand is in shambles. Just I don't know. It's just in shambles right now. So
I hear that.
Anytime I can throw a forehand, I'll throw a forehand.
Right. So do you feel like that's your biggest weakness, or your most area of improvement is probably your backhand? You want to try to work on? Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. All right. We know you as a player. Let's look at your discs. So we have them live here on set. So let's run through them real quick. Let's try to go. First of all, I'm looking at your bag.
Yeah.
And it does not look organized in my mind.
Nope.
Is it organized in your mind?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
it's just for the viewers.
Yeah, because I see a glitch
can see
right here, but then I see like a raptor right here.
So yeah, my thought process is whatever I just use will go in the middle.
So whatever you just threw is
whatever I just threw. I don't have a specific spot for them.
That's really Brody is not that, but in a similar way, he puts like his most thrown discs in the center and goes out. I think is what he does.
So that's probably what my bag becomes then.
Right. Yeah, because his will be like, okay, well my 9 speeds go here.
Okay.
But I throw these 9 speeds more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Mine's just all mixed.
Mine is, so if I'm looking at your bag where that Connor Shaman is on the far right, that is my most understable putter.
Okay.
Then it goes up in stability, up in speed.
Okay.
So it'll go putters, up in stability, then it'll hit mid-ranges, and that'll be the most understable mid-range and go up.
Okay.
So I'm looking at them in segments from right is most understable, left is most overstable.
Yeah. Okay.
And my discs are flipped your way, which a lot of people tell me is left-handed, but I put my discs that way as well. With the bottom of the discs.
So so they're pointed like bottom of the disc to the right.
Yeah, bottom of the disc is to the right. Some people argue that point. I go to grab someone's bag and their discs are the other way. I'm like, ooh.
Well, I guess it depends on which way you grab your discs. Because if you grab your discs from the back of the bag, then having the bottom on the right would make sense. Yeah. If you grab your discs from if you're like this,
look down,
and then they're the other way, that would make sense.
And I get it's. There's not a right or wrong answer here. I'm interested in people's thought processes. So let's start at putter, Silas.
Okay.
Show the people what's your putter of choice right now as far as putting putter.
Putting putter is the Luna. So I've got 2 here. I'm on Team Shay Stevens. Shout out. Send me these. Me and Connor are on Team Shay right now.
Nice.
But yeah, I like the feel of the Luna. I don't like a bead. Fun fact, I used to putt with magnets, which have a huge bead.
Yeah. Tell them why, Silas. Tell them why. Do you remember?
Because you gave me one.
Yeah, right.
And that's the only putter I had. So that's what I used.
Yep.
But, I putted with these for a little bit, when I was early starting. And then I moved away from them, but they just always felt good to me. And so, to me, the putter is just all about the feel. I don't care about the flight of a putting putter.
Yeah, right. Just as long as it feels good.
Feel. Yeah.
And then you have looks like a premium plastic Luna behind that. Is that more of your throwing?
Yeah. So this is a throwing putter, signed by Paul.
Yeah.
5-time
Paul.
Crystal, I think. Crystal plastic.
Yeah.
It's just nice and understable, man. Yeah. It'll hold the line, whatever line you put it on, it'll just kind of hold that.
And you throw more Hyzer on backhand too. It seems like.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't throw flat on backhand. I wish I could, but.
All right, and I think the rest. Okay, and then I see you have.
Other putters.
Yeah.
That's a putter. That might be it. Glitch.
It's a glitch.
So I got a glitch. Shout out Bedanza. Gave me this glitch when we collabed. When he collabed with Foundation. Actually. Really good disc. It just kind of holds. It's very good for field work. Right. It just kind of holds whatever line you put it on, and it doesn't veer off of that, which is really cool. And it's a 1-speed.
1700, I think.
Yeah. So it's just kind of it's kind of like Connor throws that frisbee toss shot.
Yeah.
This is if I need to throw that, I'll step up to this glitch and throw it.
I think in a recent video you threw that a lot. And
at Timbrook. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the glitch. I think it's the most fun disc to throw. People hear me say this all the time. If you went out in my truck right now, I always have one in my truck.
Okay.
Because whether you're at a party or a get together or you're at your friend's house or your family's house and it's nice outside and everyone's kind of hanging out outside, I always bring that out and just toss it because it's Frisbee-esque, right? You can toss it low speed, but you can also, you you can do this with an ultimate lid. I'm not great at like throwing big, huge, long fading shots or whatever.
Yeah.
Really easy to do the glitch, so you just keep backing up and backing up and backing up. And I love throwing a glitch.
And it's still easy to catch too.
Yeah,
like it's got
soft. It's soft. So, well, that's cool. And then you have the Shaman.
Yeah, I got the OG Connor Shaman. I honestly haven't thrown this that much, so I couldn't tell you how it flies. Usually, I'll just throw the Luna or the glitch. Honestly, this kind of feels to me. It's a little too shallow.
Yeah.
And so whenever I throw it, I just like early release it just because I feel like it's slipping out of my hand. So it's just one of these discs that I need to throw more in order for it to, for my confidence when I throw it to go up.
I bagged the Shaman for a little bit. I went back to like a PA5 for like a understable throwing putter. And I like the Shaman because where it is shallow, I like in my mind I could throw it really hard like a fairway because it is shallow.
Yeah.
So I it's good. I think it's one if you experiment with a little bit, you would really enjoy it.
Yeah. It just throws me off because the glitch is really deep and then the Shaman is really shallow.
Right.
And so like in my mind, like I want to throw the glitch because I have bigger hands too, and so the glitch feels more comfortable to me in the hand than a Shaman.
For sure. Yeah, I was going to point that out because the people that don't know you're what, 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
Yeah, tall guy. So you do have bigger hands. So that definitely comes into play with, especially I feel like putters.
Yeah.
And what's that blue disc right beside the Shaman?
Yeah, so these are, I'll pull out the approach disc.
Okay, yeah.
So we got,
when I think of a distortion, I think of Silus.
Boom. Okay, so we got 4 here.
Okay, all right. So, rest of those.
Distortion. I've had this in the bag for actually a really long time. There's a couple of chunks taken out of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's a zone. It's all the same. This one's just understable.
Yeah.
I kind of have it in the bag just as a backup, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I also have a zone, and it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
And it just fills a slot. You know, if I were to lose the zone, I have a zone-esque to throw. So they're pretty much the same disc.
And that's an ESP zone that's died. So it definitely has a little flip to it. Still overstable, but still has a flip.
Yeah.
So I can see where there's something to having a comfort disc like that in your bag, like a just in case, or maybe you're not feeling the zone at all that day.
Yeah.
You can jump over to the distortion that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit different plastic. So the distortion is in this 400, and it's pretty soft actually, and ESP is probably a little bit stiffer.
Yeah.
I would say in these two. And then on top of that, this is an A5.
It's a cool.
So I think this is 500 plastic. Yeah, 500. I don't know what kind of stamp this is or like where I got it from, but it's just a straighter zone. I mean, straighter, more flippies, flippier zone. So I actually don't mind this on a backhand either for like some like reliable fade almost. Like it feels a little weird because it's like a zone feel, and usually, you know, I don't think people really throw zones on backhands, but I find it to be pretty comfortable.
I think a lot of people will throw them on forehand and backhand, but I think a lot of people think, especially like our era of disc golf, think of a zone as like a forehand approach disc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so that's interesting. Do you feel like, number one, that's definitely deeper, I think, a little bit deeper than a zone. So that's probably why you feel good about it on backhand.
Probably, yeah. That's a good point.
Do you feel like it pushes more for you than the zone? Like you get some more flight out of it? Or do you just feel like it's just a little less stable than the zone?
I think it's just a little less stable. Okay, I think it's very similar, but just a little less stable.
And then last but not least, you have the beef itself.
Yeah.
That's a beef one too, isn't it?
This is a beef one. This is out of Hunter's bag, actually, because I lost mine. And Hunter was kind enough to gift me his.
What a nice guy.
And so, yeah, just super overstable. Just, you know, put on some anti-forehand. You know it's going to come back all the time.
Yeah.
Just super reliable. And, I mean, no complaints. It's beef. The flight numbers are beef.
That's a mold that comes in and out of my bag so much. I put it back in because I'll take it out because I won't use it.
What do you put in?
I don't put anything in.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm like, I don't need that much overstability. I'll just power down on something really overstable. But it never fails. A day comes where there's a lot of wind, or a weekend where there's a lot of wind, and I'm thrown in the yard or something. I'm like, I need that disc. I need that disc back in the bag right now. Or I need like a, like those pitch out, like Annie forehand shots. You just need to pan. And then come out versus like just flip over or whatever.
That's exactly why it's there.
Yeah. So that's a good one. All right. So I mean, pretty solid. I mean, you don't have a lot of throwing putters, but you have approach discs that kind of fill the slot. If you really needed to throw an overstable backhand putter, you could grab one of those and throw.
Yeah, so, and I just try not to throw those too. Usually I go forehand.
Right, exactly. All right, so what about mids? I'm curious about your mid ranges, because that's some part I don't really know a lot about.
That's not a really part I know either, to be honest. I only have 3 in the bag.
Okay.
And they're all the same mold.
Buzz, buzz, buzz?
Buzz, buzz, buzz. So 3 buzzes. First off, we have this Supreme Flight.
Dang, jawbreaker.
Yeah, this is a 153. Wow. 153 gram buzz. Just super flippy.
Yeah, that's
super light, super
flippy. That's not
flippy.
even a buzz. Jawbreaker 153.
Yeah.
No, that's like a Origin.
Ridiculously understable.
That's cool though.
So there's that, and then I have instability. I would think this 6 claw buzz is probably just like a straight buzz.
Yeah. Typical ESP buzz off the shelf, pretty much.
Just straight. And then this one's probably a little bit overstable, so a little more stability. Still pretty straight though, because it's got some nicks and wear and tear and stuff. But it used to be a little more overstable. Yeah,
that's a Z Midnight for those of you just on audio. So it's
a
a Yuli Horse one. We dropped at US DGC 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's still in the bag. So that's the only mids I have. I like the simplicity of it because I only throw 1 mold, but I could see myself like putting in something more overstable. Like a Justice or a Swarm or Rock 3 or something like that.
This is something I just not struggle with. I go back and forth with, because you're kind of doing this with your zones and now your buzzes. I'm a big fan of I think it just depends on what kind of disc golf I'm trying to play. If I'm trying to be competitive and I'm like, I'm going to play tournaments, I'm going to improve my rating, I'm going to do kind of this method where I'm like, okay. And I do it with some of my molds. I talk about a lot on here, but Envies, I have 3 Envies in my bag, and they're varying stabilities.
Yeah.
I used to have 5 because I would do very overstable to flippy.
Oh, okay.
And then FDs, I do the kind of same thing. My hexes, I do the same thing. And then I kind of start doing that in my distance driver, or they're my Raptors. I do them kind of my Raptors, my overstable fairway. But there's something about those are the areas I tend to use a lot. So I try to simplify them by having 1 mold and then varying plastics or wear and tear levels, beat in level, where they do different things. Yeah. That's the Robbie C mold minimalization method. Yep. Brody actually does that too. He only throws 9 molds or something like that. Okay. But he'll have 5 Raptors. You know what I mean?
In different stages.
Which is so but I go back and forth, because now I'm kind of getting away from that, where I might have 2 FDs. One's a little more flippy than the other, and then I'll move on to a different mold after that. Because I think the pro of this method of yours, where you have few molds, more discs of that mold to do different things, is if you lose that Supreme Flight buzz, it's going to be very hard to replace.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's the downside.
That's the bummer.
The positive is they're all buzzes. You know how they feel.
They all feel the same, which is so nice. I can just, I don't know. It's just so, it's so comforting, because I feel like in disc golf, I think I've always had a buzz in my bag at some point. Right. And so it's just the comfort factor is I know this disc, I know what it's going to do. Yeah. And
I think the pro to the other side of the coin is, an Origin's going to fly like an Origin. I just go grab it. If I lose that one, I'm just going to grab an Origin off the shelf. So I don't have to worry about finding this particularly beat in one or whatever. Yep. But I also now have so many molds, and then there is do I go Graco or do I go E-Duke? Which one do I do? Yeah. And there's a little bit of variance there versus this method I like a lot. So for whatever it's worth, Silus, but I like that you're just buzz guy.
Pretty simple. Keeping it simple with the mid ranges.
And here's the area I'm very excited about. You just want to do drivers all together?
Yeah, we can do drivers.
Let's do drivers all together.
There's a good bit.
By the way, if you're not checking this out on YouTube, make sure if you're just audio, make sure you take a chance.
Yeah.
Sorry, step back, take a minute, and go try to find it on YouTube because Silus has some gems in here as far as what disc he's carrying.
Okay, so let's see fairways. I've got, let's see, 1, 2.
See a Passion, 100K Passion. I'm going to hold it up for the people.
Yeah.
Pretty sick.
3.
Oh, FS7.
I think that's it.
All right, 3 fairways.
3 fairways. It used to be a lot more, I'll say.
Flippy, straight, overstable, right?
Not really.
Okay,
I wish it was different.
Okay.
So this is a
Vodum.
Yeah. Thought Space. Jason actually gave this to me in the holiday disc swap we did
nice.
like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And it's just a flippier Passion, I found. It feels a little different,
okay.
But yeah, this thing is super flippy. I don't know
Interesting.
how or why. I think it's just beat in, but it's actually flippier than this Passion. And this is the 100K Passion.
Yeah.
It's just really straight.
Yeah.
Like I just if I can throw it flat, it just goes dead straight. Usually I throw with the Hyzer, and so it just it doesn't go flat. It Hyzers.
It doesn't have a lot of fade.
No,
it's even when it slows down, it's not fading hard.
Yeah, I used to have another Passion in here that was a little more overstable, but I lost it. I'm like the king of lost discs. I will lose a disc every round I play almost. Really? I feel like I don't know what I do. Here's the thing. I throw a bad shot and I just turn around. Yeah. I don't watch where it goes. Right. I'm like, oh, that was such a bad shot.
That's awful.
And then I just can't find it because I turn around. So that's And then I think this is F7.
Correct. Yep.
173 gram F7. So this is just I feel like not on forehand, but on backhand, just in a pinch, like in some woods or something, and just need something to push out and kind of flip up.
Yeah.
I can throw this on not max power, but still know that it's gonna flip up and actually go somewhere.
Yeah, right. Like a standstill kind of shot. It's gonna flip up for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So stability wise, is the Rip It less understable than the Vodum?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's Rip It, then Vodum, and then Passion's your straight.
Passion.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have an overstable fairway.
Well, it's okay because it seems like you use your stability up in your 9 speed and above.
Yeah.
Which I think that's just a way of looking at it, right?
Yeah. So I've got, let's see, I think I only have 2 right now. At one point I had a lot of Raptors in the bag just because that's my go-to. I feel a lot of times, but the Raptor. So this is a UV. This is All-Star UV Raptor.
Awesome.
And then this is I don't know what you call it, pastry dyes.
Yeah, that one's
crystal Raptor. This has been in the bag for a really long time. Yeah. This Crystal Raptor. It's just nice and overstable. I mean, it's a Raptor.
It's still overstable.
It just holds. It's just overstable.
Yeah,
it's overstable. 9 speed or something.
Yeah.
And so. This one's just new, but they basically do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just the same disc.
It's not bad to cycle through both of those, as that eventually that crystal one will start getting beat up enough that it will fly a little straighter.
Yeah.
So that UV, which is the All-Star one, came in our sub box. Check them out if you're not checking them out already.
Yeah.
That one, I have one in my bag as well. Not like cap wrap overstable, but it's overstable.
Yeah.
It's a very good, very solid Raptor as well. So do you feel like these Raptors you're kind of throwing on the other end of these other fairways?
Yeah. So this is what I like. If I need something on backhand even to be overstable, I'll just throw this on backhand.
Okay.
And
that
just I mean, it'll go a little further than a 7 speed, but but with its overstability, it's not. I'm not looking for it to go super far.
And that's what I kind of cap my fairways off with Raptors also. I really go anything 6 speed and up is in that fairway category for me, and I kind of treat them as their own little chunk of discs.
Yeah.
So
and then I just lean on these with the forehand as well.
Yeah. They'll definitely take the power of your forehand.
Workhorse forehand.
Okay, and then all right, we're at distance drivers now.
So this is a spot that just never know. I don't know what I'm putting in here. So probably the newest addition is the drive.
Okay.
I've really been liking this recently on the like flip up forehand almost. Yeah. It's been really good. It's 11.5 -1.2. This one's a little beat in. And like I said, just a flip up forehand. I haven't really tried to throw it on backhand yet. But it's probably pretty good on backhand as well.
I'd be interested to see what it does on backhand for you.
But it goes far. It's like a straighter Raptor that just like fades a little bit at the end, but not much at all. And so I've been really enjoying it for just like a straight forehand, distance forehand. And then honestly, these three in the bag are just like to try out. So I've got the Disc Mania Astronaut. It's pretty beat in. It's a 12.6 -4.1.
Yeah.
So super flippy. I haven't thrown it a lot, but I want to throw it on the backhand just to see what it does.
Yeah. I definitely don't agree that it's a -4.1, but it's probably like a -3.1. Like for you, it's going to be probably like a -3.1.
Yeah. And I actually like the wide rim drive. Like I can't throw it. Like I can't get them up to speed usually, but it just, the wide rim doesn't bother me at all. Like comfort wise. Yeah. It feels solid. And then this is a G-Star Boss. I used to have a Boss in the bag that I really leaned on with the forehand, and this one I've found is just a little too flippy for what I'm looking for. So this one I kind of have to put on Hyzer to get it to not flip over. And my other one I just used to throw kind of flat, and it would just go straight and fade a little at the end. But I found that's what I want the drive to be. So this doesn't serve a purpose in my bag right now.
Nice.
And then the Vanilla from Clash Discs. This is basically like the drive. Right. I was just testing this out.
Same flight numbers.
Yeah, just testing this out next to the drive. And I actually threw this on a backhand, and it feels really comfortable in my hand. I think it feels better than the drive, just personally. I feel like the Vanilla, it's just a little smoother on the, I don't know what you call this part.
Yeah. I always call that like
the inner rim.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call that. It's just smoother. It just feels better in my hand.
And correction, the Vanilla does have technically 6 glide where the drive has 5.
Yeah.
The Vanillas usually are like, especially these steady rings have a little dome to them.
Yeah. It's definitely a little more domey.
Which I think it's a little deeper, like a little bit. So it makes sense that
I think that's why, that's probably part of the feel thing. It just feels better.
And I would probably give the Vanilla like a -1.1 versus a -2.1, at least for me. It kind of is a little bit more neutral than I expect it to be.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's like, maybe I'm not getting it quite up to like the speed that it needs to be to like let it turn.
Yeah.
But
same.
Because I want it to be like an 11-speed jackalope. Because a jackalope for me will flip up and turn, but the very end will come back, like start fading back. And that's what I kind of expect that to do. Again, I just don't think I'm getting it up to 11 speed. How do you like it on forehand? Do you like it on forehand?
Yeah. It does basically the same thing as the drive. But I feel like the drive has a little bit more fade at the end of it. Whereas the Vanilla just kind of holds a little more straight, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
At the end of the shot.
Okay.
And then the last disc is a Colossus. So I don't know. I think it's a 13 speed.
Yeah. Shout out to those Colossus boys out there. There's not many of you.
This is one of those discs that I just found in the used section. I was like, Connor, how is this going to fly for me? And he's like, it's pretty overstable. Yeah. And so that it's kind of just like to me, it seems like a wider rimmed destroyer.
Okay. I would agree with that. And it flies like that for you, pretty overstable.
Yeah. Yep. It flies like that. You know what? I can never like throw a good shot on forehand with this disc. I don't know what it is, but the few times I've thrown on forehand, it's been atrocious.
Oh, okay.
So it's just kind of been my backhand. Like I need something overstable.
Yeah, you just don't care. It just needs to get left.
It just needs to get left.
Another interesting fact. You're left-handed but throw right-handed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trevor does that. And then who else? We have one other employee that's left-handed that throws right-handed.
Okay.
Yeah. Must be a common thing. I don't know.
I don't know. Because I do a lot right-handed. Like I throw a ball right-handed.
Well, that makes sense then.
Play pickleball right-handed.
Do you golf right-handed?
Golf right-handed. Yeah.
Because Trevor golfs left-handed.
Shoot left-handed though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a eye dominance thing for your left eye. Okay, well that makes sense. We did forget one disc. I see, Silas.
Yeah. This is the Cap Wrap. This has been an awesome disc. Hunter gave this one to me. I think this is last year's Tour Series.
Yeah, correct.
The Jawbreaker or Z Jawbreaker Flex, and it's just a more overstable Raptor, and it's been great. I actually threw this on hole 17 at East Campus, and got like an eagle look with it in one of the newest videos.
That's impressive.
I just threw it on a big Hyzer, and it still came back. Like, this disc is going to come back. I mean, certainly, you throw it on a roller angle, it's not gonna fight back out of it, but. You throw this thing high with Hyzer, and it's gonna come back to the right on forehand.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. After seeing your disc, Silas, in your bag, I'm gonna make 2 recommendations for you.
Okay.
Okay. Recommendation 1. I'm gonna go out and grab you, and I want you to put it in your bag, and I want you to try it.
Okay.
Because I think I see a definite gap between your fairways from your like flippy to straight fairways to your Raptors.
Yeah.
And I think you want something that will flip up and push but won't turn and maybe come back. You might find it nice for hitting lines in the woods as you're trying to hit more lines.
Sure.
I think you need to try the E-Doog from Castaplast.
E-Doog.
It's a 7.5 negative 0.52. Or it's either -1 positive 2.5.
Okay. I don't think I've ever thrown a Castaplast.
It is such a good disc. I can throw it so far.
Okay.
It's reliably overstable. I can get it if I really want it to turn a little bit. It will turn a little bit.
Okay.
But it's not going to like roll on me. It's just going to turn a little bit, and then it'll, at the very end, it will dump back.
Oh,
which is what I like.
Yeah.
It still has some understability, but will dump.
Okay.
So
that sounds great.
I think for your forehand, that would be a great disc to add to your repertoire there. And another one just for fun, I think you need to try the Strive.
The Strive
from Latitude 64.
What is that?
It's a 12-speed, 12.6, or no, it's a 13, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's but I can throw it.
Yeah.
So I know you can throw it, especially on your forehand. That might be like, I dare to say, and I don't know what it is. I just don't know if like the plastic made the flight numbers not quite be what they are, but my Strive will turn a little bit for me. It's like if I watch like Hunter or Trevor throw a Destroyer, that's what the Strive flies like for me.
Okay.
But it shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have a rare one. So I'd like you to try a Strive and see how it does for you. Okay. I think it might be a bomb for you. Like it might go further than any of your discs.
Wow.
Because it just goes so far.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I'm wrong and that disc is like, I just have like this random gem that's just not stable or overstable, then I think try a Grace.
Okay.
Because I think it's 11 speed,
Grace.
but it's a flip up with some stability.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I think those are some discs you should try. We're definitely going to stick an E-Doog in your bag.
Sweet.
And see how that does for you. I think it's going to be an awesome fit for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that sounds great.
Keep grinding out there. And hey, here's the best part. We're going to move on to what's new in the warehouse, but you're in the warehouse with me this morning helping me do what's new in the warehouse.
I was.
Let's tell the people, Silas, what do we got dropping this week?
Yeah. We've got, what do we have? Prodigy Tour Series.
Yeah, they're calling it their signature series this year. It's fine. It's their Tour Series, but they have so many molds.
Yes. There were like, what, 12, 16?
Yeah, they're all recently restocked, so make sure you check that out. But I mean, there's like 400 spectrum. There's Air Spectrum Plastic, 750 Spectrum. There's Ultra Soft Spectrum, which was on an A3, I believe.
Yeah, something
it's
like that. Yeah.
Almost koi level gummy.
And then the stamps were really cool as well.
Yeah, they're all done
really
by Kelly Barber, Cobb Art. Shout out to him. He's a friend of Foundation. He does quite a few of our stamps, including what's getting ready to come out. He did the Larry the Lobster stamp.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And a couple, any of the other like more, he did the Ezra ones. So the more like intricate ones like that he's doing and doing a great job. But yeah, all of them are cool. They're like an elemental like series from Prodigy. So I know like Gavin Rathbuns is like a volcanic like monster element.
Yeah, they all were like some kind of monsters or something like that. Yeah.
I think elemental is what they did. But anyway, check those out.
Yeah.
We've got we talked about Castaplast a minute ago.
Yeah.
The Malm, that actually might be a good disc for you to try out, Silas. That might be It's a 10-speed, but 10-4-0, 2.5, I believe.
Yeah.
It seems like a longer, like a 10-speed E-Duke in my mind.
Yeah.
But I think E-Duke is going to be better because it's going to lower speed.
Yeah.
Kristen Lott, still getting used to saying that. Moonshine Pure this year. It's coming out. Very sick design.
It's a good disc. I love the Pure.
Innova continues to drop like 2 of theirs every week. We have the Halo Star Proto Glow Destroyer, Henna Blommus.
Yep.
Halo Star Proto Glow Leopard 3 owns Scoggins as well. So we have those. Confetti Zones, we have those back in stock.
Get freaky confetti zones.
Those are sick. Check those out. And I almost forgot. We trash painted Canyon, the new Canyon, the final mold. It is changed from the Proto Canyon a little bit, for us at sea level, a little less overstable. Very nice touch. The disc feels great. They did a great job revamping that and making it pretty great. Also, Ripped Revenge, chip locked. We have both of those restocked as well. So fun party games. It's getting warmer, people. Let's get out and play.
You're out playing with your friends. It's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as always, Silas, appreciate you. Thanks for everything you did for the show.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on.
It was nice seeing what's still in the bag and what's out of the bag. But for those of you at home, I hope your weekend goes well. Again, stay safe if you're getting any of the weather this weekend. Make sure you check out foundationdisc.com. Again, we have foundation care where you can try any disc. Maybe you're like, the Colossus maybe sounds fun. Then maybe you throw it and maybe you really don't like it. If you do within 30 days, you can send Jason an email and we'll get you traded out into a disc that you really know and love. So try these risk-free. And as always, when you get the disc and it's good, where do they keep it, Silas?
Keep it in the bag.
We'll see y'all next week.